How many teams have a legitimate shot to win the 2021 National Championship? Most people are saying 5. That is pretty much the consensus across the nation, from the fans, from the media, from the analysts. 5 teams have a legitimate shot out of 130 or 65 in the Power 5 to win the national championship. What does history tell us? Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Please like the videos, share the videos out on social media, because people out there don't know that we're here talking college football each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis. That's our aim. That's our goal. That's our mission. Are we there? You be the judge, but that's what we're striving to accomplish. All right, let's get to it in regards to analyzing national champions going all the way back to 1950 and where they started the season. All right, out of those 75 national champions. So you say, Mark, that's 71 years. Well, we had split national champions a number of times, so those legitimate split national championships, we looked at both of those teams. So 75 teams since 1950. 10 of those started the season at number 1 in the AP poll, 10 out of 75. 12 of them started at number 2 in the AP poll, and 39 out of the 75 in the top 5 in the nation. So it's very difficult to go from number 1 and make it all the way through the season and win that national championship, or even number 2, 22 of 75. But almost all those teams have been within striking distance. More than half have been within striking distance in that top 5 range, that same range that we're looking at here in 2021 with Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Clemson. That consensus top 5 for just about everyone. All right, how many started in the top 10? 56 of the 75 started the season in the top 10. 68 of them, so practically all of them. What is that? About 85% plus started ranked somewhere in the AP poll to start the season, which was at times a top 20, then a top 10 for about 7 years. Only a top 10 for about 7 years, 1961 to 68. And then, of course, the top 25. 7 were unranked and came out of nowhere to win a national championship. How interesting would that be in 2021? And when is the last time that happened? Well, let's march through history starting in 1950. Why did I choose 1950? Because I wanted to. All right, so let's go through the first several years here, and we see that Oklahoma right out of the gate, 1950 was the number 1 that went all the way to win the national championship. In the 2 following years, Tennessee and Michigan State in those 1 and 2 spots as well. Maryland, a top 10 team. And as we go through the 1950s, we see that Ohio State in 1954 was only 20th ranked to start the season, and Woody Hayes winning the national championship there. Auburn in 1957 is a lower rated team at number 15 in the nation in what was a top 20 at the time, went on to win the national championship. Then we've got an interesting run here from 1958 to 62 where we had 3 teams in 5 seasons go from unranked preseason to win a college football national championship, win LSU, Minnesota, and USC in 1958, 60, and 62. And what about Syracuse's run in 1959? Then as we go on through the 1960s into the 1970s, we see that Alabama was a dominant program, Texas, USC, Ohio State in particular, Nebraska then as we get near the 70s. And look at that. After that run of 3 unranked teams winning national championships 3 times in 5 years, from 1963 all the way through 1979, only 1 team outside the top 10 went on to win a national championship, and that team was on the fringe of the top 10, Ohio State in 1968 at number 11. So basically they're a top 10 team. So from 1963 all the way until we get to 1980, all the national champions started off as a top 10 team. Then in 1980, Herschel Walker, Vince Dooley, Buck Bellew and company win a national championship after starting the season AP number 16. The next season, Clemson won its first national championship unranked, and that started a string of 3 in 4 years. As you see, Miami with Howard Schnellenberger, Bernie Kosar and company in 1983. BYU in 84. Robbie Bosco and company win a national championship, although that one a bit disputed in some circles because of BYU's schedule that we've outlined. I encourage you to check out the videos where we've outlined disputed national championships: 1983, 84, 90, 91, 96, and 2000. Make your requests, and we will deliver here at the Voice of College Football. As we go through the 80s, normalcy sets in again, although Miami at number 10 in 87, Notre Dame number 13 in 1988, after Lou Holtz took over, went 8-4, played in the Cotton Bowl his first year, but Notre Dame had been down for a long time under Jerry Faust and Lou Holtz. They win a national championship coming up from number 13 to win the top spot in 88. Then you see Miami, Florida, Florida State, their run in the late 80s through the 90s, and their dominance there. Of course, we had a split national championship in 1990, and so I just, even though we're looking at the AP number one teams and the national championship run, I wanted to backtrack in this video to look at that split national championship. And Georgia Tech, unranked in 1990 to start the season, splits with Colorado. Their national championship disputed for reasons we've outlined elsewhere. Miami and Washington, 1991, with a split national championship, and both of them highly regarded to start the season at 3 and 4 in the rankings. There you see a lot of single digits, of course. As expected, Tennessee did come from number 10 to win the first BCS championship in 1998. There you see the split title between Nebraska and Michigan. They started at number 6. Michigan all the way from number 14 to split that title. Florida State went wire to wire basically in 1999. You see the Oklahoma run. So that was Bob Stoops' second season at Oklahoma. The Sooners had been down through the 90s. Stoops takes over in 99, gets them going, and in a second season, a la Jim Tressel, a couple of years later, wins the national championship after taking over a down elite program, and Oklahoma going from 19 all the way up to number 1 in defeating Florida State in the Orange Bowl. Miami in the 2 spot in 01 with those great teams. Ohio State, again, much like Stoops, Tressel in his second season from 13 to number 1 to win the national championship at 14-0. LSU and USC split in 03. The Tigers under Nick Saban made it all the way from number 14 to split that title. Of course, USC won the Rose Bowl, and there was still that split, even though there was a BCS championship game. USC goes back-to-back in 04. Texas in 05 started at number 2 with Vince Young. Then we see the Florida championships, where they started within range at number 7 and number 5 in 06 and 08. LSU, of course, with a national championship in 07. Then here comes Nick Saban in the Alabama run. The Tide started at number 5 in 09 after losing the SEC championship game to Florida and a bowl game, but still a strong second season under Nick Saban, and vaulted the Tide to prominence in 09. Auburn making the last huge leap of anybody from number 22 preseason in the Cam Newton, Gene Chizik year all the way up to win the BCS championship over Oregon, undefeated, number 22, all the way to the top. And then through the last 10 to 12 years, we've seen the contenders come and win the national championship as expected. No real surprises there, although that great Florida State team in 2013 only started number 11 with, of course, a freshman quarterback in Jameis Winston. The power leaders of Alabama and Clemson started within those top couple spots. LSU from number 6 to number 1 in 2019. Those are national champions from 1950 till today. This is where they started. Again, do your forecasting wisely. But here in the last 15 of 17 years, the team has started in the top 10 in the country. 15 of the last 17 years and 7 straight in the top 5 in the country, actually. Again, so the top 5 seems pretty secure at this point. A 90-plus percent certainty that the national champion is going to come from that top 5. But we shall see. Hopefully, we see a little chaos in college football in 2021. What's the likelihood? Leave your comments below. Of course, share the videos out on social media. We will continue to thrive here at the Voice of College Football because of you. Not because of me, but because of you. Please share the videos, like the videos, and get the word out right here at the Voice of College Football. See you next time.